In life, you have to keep moving. And if you have to keep moving, you need to do your financial plan well. You need to feel secure. You need to feel protected. And that's what insurance does for you. Hello and welcome to this very special knowledge series that the Money Mile has put together to tell you all that you need to know about insurance, the various aspects of it, and how you can protect yourself better. Joining me today is an industry veteran who's been around in the sector for many, many years and knows it at the back of his hand. Vighnesh Shahane. Thank you very much, Vighnesh. A pleasure talking to you here.
Thank you,
in
Vic.
your
It's
beautiful
great seeing
office.
you too.
It's lovely here.
And welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vighnesh. You've seen this sector very, very closely over the many years that you've been involved with it. What I remember is that, there would be this one phrase which would always come up, that insurance is a push product. It's not a pull product.
Right.
People don't come to buy insurance. They wait for somebody to come to them and tell them that you need to be protected. Are you seeing any change at all, especially with the younger generation, with the millennials, with the new employee, age group? Are they thinking differently about insurance?
I think pretty much, Vivek, insurance is yet a push product and will always be, according to me.
Okay.
I mean, you don't get up in the morning and say, today I want to buy an insurance policy. You would say, I would probably buy a music system or television or a mobile phone or a housing loan, but never, I want to get up, I'm feeling great, I want to buy an insurance policy, let me meet my insurance agent. That never happens. Insurance is also not a topic of social conversation.
Right.
When you might talk about real estate, women talk about jewelry, you might talk about your stock investments, but you never talk about insurance. So till that happens, I think insurance will always be a push product. But to answer your second question, yes, I do see a change. A lot of millennials are now depending digitally on buying insurance. And not only millennials, across the strata of customers, I've seen that customers are asking 3 more questions or 4 more questions before buying the insurance policy. They shop around, look for the best price, look for the best features, which they didn't 5 years or 8 years back. So that kind of awareness is increased in the customer base. So when I bought,
what about costs, Vighnesh? Have those come down with digital? Because one of the concerns with insurance was always very high commissions. And I'm not talking now, I'm talking 15, 20 years ago. Even with the advent of the private sector, lots of options came forward to customers, lots of new products emerged. But the one big concern that remained was they were very costly as a category.
Correct.
Can you take us through the evolution on the cost side, and especially with digital now that the middle person, so to speak, is out? Has that been able to remarkably bring costs down?
Absolutely, it has come down. It's been a better proposition for customers on the cost front, which the insurers have passed on to the customer. More than that, it's also the customer experience. And to us, it's digital is not only online products, it's digitizing the entire process. So that has resulted in great cost saves, that has increased productivity, and we are able to pass it on to the customer. So digital is not only about buying a product online, paying commission, it's also servicing, it's also addressing queries, it's also reaching out to the customer digitally. All this has reduced costs.
What about the overall penetration of insurance? Do you think that over the years that's also showing signs of picking up? Because we are a very underinsured population. We usually, say that number of policies bought, and take it as a percentage of the population. But I think most people, at least who I meet, seem to be having a policy, but they're underinsured.
Correct. Absolutely, and people are underinsured in metros and in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. In fact, I can confidently say that 90% of the people in this room would be underinsured, if not uninsured. Vivek, I have a slight difference in the way penetration has been measured. Suppose it's you and me are the universe, and you have a policy worth 50,000. So your penetration as calculated would be 50,000 over the GDP.
Right.
Now suppose, and I'm not insured at all. Now suppose you double your insurance premium next year, the penetration doubles, but I remain uninsured. So I think penetration should also be measured in terms of lives insured, not only in terms of premium, because as ticket sizes increase, penetration would increase. So it should also touch upon lives insured, because I could remain uninsured and you could keep doubling and tripling, and that doesn't increase penetration.
Right.
But I think to answer your question, I think the greatest challenge for the insurance company, as I've seen it over the last 10 years, is not increasing GDP or falling inflation or stock market volatility or government or regulatory stability. I think there's a trust deficit between the insurance company, industry and the customers, and you have to woo back the insurance customer. Because if all these things were to fall into place and the customer yet didn't trust you, your penetration would not increase. And I think the regulator has taken some laudable steps in making this industry more customer centric. In fact, all the regulations that we've seen in the last 5 years are to making this industry more customer centric. So the first thing is to woo back the customer who's keeping away from insurance. The second thing is simplicity. Simplicity of product. I keep telling my product team that the people selling and buying your products are not geniuses sitting in the boardroom here. They are normal men, graduates, undergraduates, senior citizens, single mothers, kids who are buying your products. So make it simple. I think creativity in products is a theme across a lot of conferences I've seen. I think creativity is simplicity. I don't think you should jazz up an insurance product by adding bells and whistles and making it too complicated for the customer. I think
in fact, that's been the concern, right? Many
been the
people
concern,
feel that whole offer document, policy document is so complex
How many times
that
the
they can't
customer
understand
decide,
it.
yeah.
There's so
They
many
can't
charges,
understand.
structures.
Absolutely.
I think the move to simplicity, what you're saying, will lead to better adoption of
better
insurance.
adoption. Penetration has to be bought can be increased by getting the trust of the customers. And I think government, the Prime Minister's schemes like the Jeevan Jyoti, and the various other accident schemes that the Prime Minister has introduced 2 years back have done their bit in increasing awareness and penetration. But now is the time to upsell those initiatives.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Vighnesh. Thank you very much
Likewise.
for talking to us.
Likewise.
And look forward to talking more to you.